Chit Chat. Well, a lot is going on in the world today. You know, when you watch the news, you see a lot of negative. And I try not to watch it, but I couldn't help. I was on YouTube again. The world is hurting. People are hurting. Stay tuned. How you doing? Welcome back to my channel. This is Patrice. I was on YouTube and this is Backyard Chit Chat. And I was thinking the other day, if 2020 was a bad year for most of us, we can say, but I'm starting to believe that 2023 is not getting any better. With what's going on in the presidency, what's going on with every time you turn on the news, what do you see? Shootings, destruction. I got to be careful with my words because this is YouTube. But I'm going to talk about something. I try to be honest. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but I see too much of this going on the news. I'm talking about mental health. They only want to talk about it when something tragic is happening. I remember I've been blogging about teenagers, depression, or sadness, and the issues they deal with. And lately I've been watching YouTube and a lot of incidents happening with kids. No one wants to address, no one cares about what the kids are going through. Frankly and honestly, the adults are going through the same thing too, but they are able to deal with it. But we're talking about teenagers out there, single mom, dealing with these kids that are, what do they call them, latchkey kids? But the topic is not mostly about kids. I felt like I was watching the news about, I can't remember exact things, but what happened is mental issue came up. And the question was asked, where are the parents? Where are the parents' support? Not a lot of kids have family. Not everybody we see has family that support them. A lot of people in this world don't. So when we say where is the family, it depends on where. I watch an incident on YouTube where it was the child 18th birthday and the mother, the parent, mother and father dropped him off at the homeless shelter. So a lot of things that we see going on here in 2023, I feel like it's economy, and talk about discrimination. Does it matter what your hair look like? When I go on a facility, I don't always go with my hair out. I started covering my hair during the COVID times. But I read an article that a lady was discriminated, nurse as a matter of fact, because of her braids. And I started to wonder, does it really matter? But when I go to California, I believe the incident was in California too. And it wasn't until I started looking to it because my friend, she called me up. She was getting ready to go on an assignment in California, and she called me up and say, show me a picture, her new hairdo. First of all, she went to Janet Jackson concert. She had that long hair all the way down. And so the next day, she sent me a picture of her other, she took that hairdo down and she had another hairdo, and she was going on a contract in California. So she said, do you think my hair, they will not let me come to work? And I said, sure, it's okay. She said, what about, I heard that, she sent me a couple articles that African American was discriminated because they have braids. Of all the times I have been in California and watch, look, see with my eyes, some nurses, they have tattoos, they have the nose piercing, they have the ear piercing, they have these big opening in their ears like you put a rock or you just open it and tear it apart. They have tongue piercing, they have piercing here. Nobody send them home. And now you mean to say that article said that lady was sent home? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get that. I'll tell you what I said to her. So long as your braids is neat and clean. But then again, I said, I don't wear my hair out. You can probably do what I do. You cover your head with one of those covers that you see me normally wear and call it a day. Because if they're going to discriminate, judge you based on your hair and not your qualification, not what can you do, you can just sue. And I hate to say that because that's their loss. They're giving up having a qualified nurse coming in the door. Certain people slide through. It's like you go into the job, you have a nurse, like I told you last time I went to a job, and the nurse was just cursing. I mean cursing. In front of the nurse's station, nobody says anything. But if you do it, it will be a problem. So where's the support? Where is the support needed? As a matter of fact, happy Nurses Week. What are you getting for Nurses Week? What do you ever get? So I had a lot of thought about that, about what can we do to support each other. And I'm not talking about based on colors, nurses on a whole. How can we come together and as one and support? That's my economy. People losing their house, people losing their belongings, people just hurt people. And I'm grateful that I had the opportunity in nursing and was able to sit home and relax right now. A lot of people are having trouble, some, whether it be IRS, the watchdog. Last channel we talked about the IRS coming at you and not paying your tax, and wonder why when you make the money you're not able to pay it. So that's a discussion that you need to take it up with your accountant or need to take it up with yourself. What's going on? We're overspending, and I'm just as guilty as the rest, but I can honestly say, as far as the IRS, I make sure to take that I don't need any more dogs on me, watching me. But I was concerned with the mental health, because yes, I'm a mental health nurse. And the only time that I see when something tragic happened in the States, I believe there was a guy that walked into a facility in downtown Atlanta and shoot, and probably a lot of people got hurt. And it was good that they were able to secure him and get him off the street. Because my friend was calling me up, Patrice, don't go nowhere. I was in the street. I didn't even know about it. She was telling me, you need to go home and stay home and don't lock yourself in. That's all the way in Atlanta. And she's all the way somewhere else. And she's not near her. But she said, I don't know if he's in Atlanta anymore because they can't find him. But they found him somewhere way outside of Atlanta. When people say Atlanta, doesn't mean it's in the Atlanta. They say Atlanta, but they live maybe far away. Anyway, when I was listening to the sheriff, the mayor, and everyone talk, they talk about mental health. They talk about the support. I think one person in the news was saying, where's the family support? And I'm here to tell you that not everybody has family that's going to support them. Not everybody you see has family. And it depends on what you create as a family. So it may not be your blood family, and not every family is very supportive and warm and loving and give you a hug. And we're not supposed to, now we're talking about mental health. When I first started writing a blog about mental illness, and it was more about teenagers. And I remember I got a lot of negative because, when you started writing, in the beginning, your grammar, whatever, you got to check, and you have to know a skill way of writing. Over the years, I've gotten better, I can say. But I had this lady, I paid her to, assess. And before she even looked at my blog to see what I needed, because I didn't know anything about blogging, and had I known, I wouldn't continue it, because in blog you have to keep consistently blog. It's too much, but that's okay. I like it because something to do away from nursing. I can focus and de-stress. So anyway, she emailed me back and she said, why mental illness for kids? Why not adults? And I got the impression that, to be honest, that nobody care about the kids. Nobody care about the teenager, what they're going through. It's a phase. As a matter of fact, I tried to even talk about it on YouTube, and it wasn't well received. But now I'm hearing a lot about the mental illness. Why nobody reach out? Why is it? And it's very stigmatized in the African American community. They joke about it. I don't find it to be a joke, and I think it's hard for other people to know if you're joking, because the person who's laughing, the person who's giving the joke, maybe rapping or doing anything, they go home into that lonely house and they are sad. They not achieving what they want to achieve. They send you all these letters, and if you're friends with them, they're reaching out, they're crying for help, but you don't know that. And you have to be skilled at knowing that they need your help. What about the child? Well, she might not be considered a child. The 20 or something years old, and she went into school, and they normally don't see that it was a female doing that, shoot up the school, but this was a female. I think it was a transgender. She was lonely. She probably was going through a situation where life of being bullied, and decide to come out, and you never know what people are struggling with and how we deal with them. Whenever someone is rude to me, whenever someone come at me in an angry way, I've learned over the years to just be quiet. I do it with the kids when they're ranting and raving and attacking me. I just be quiet. You're not listening to me. Well, when they give me their full attention, then maybe I could tell them. And even then, you may not be able to tell them. They're hidden. They hide their feelings. And so why I wanted to come out and talk about it, that not many people have someone that they feel that they can trust, that they can go to talk about what they're feeling. And it's best that they talk about it. But you don't want to in the job and they look at you different. And you know you do. I've worked with nurses who say, oh, I'm on Prozac. Who am I to judge? I don't know their situation, so I just take it with a grain of salt, meaning I don't let what they tell me stick in my head so it could be passed on to the next person. I let it go out so that I don't have a part in their pain. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, mental illness, do not discriminate. Do not discriminate. And half of the time, the people are crying out for help. They need you to say, are you okay? They need you to be there to support them, to uplift them, something positive. Not always, oh, you don't know. I remember times when I was in a situation that I wish I had that support. So now that I'm not, I'm able to step back and look at it in a more positive light. That maybe their reaction, we talk about nursing, maybe the nurse is going through something when she comes and she just snap at you. Whatever she left behind, she bring it right there in front of the door, in front of your face. So I felt like, and a lot of things, I'm not sure where you're getting your news from, where if you watch a lot of YouTube, but being from Philly, I'm noticing that there's a lot of things going on, worse than when I was there. I don't know if it's the news and I'm not there, that teenagers are involved in all these things that are going on. Because I talked to a couple of teenagers and they say, oh, I said, why are you in the house? Why are you not outside? They said, no, it's not that type of Philly anymore. We scared to go down the street. I wonder why. A lot of people during this presidency is dealing with not having a job, become takers, taking, inflation. You don't want to take a job that's 2.5 hours away in this time. Gas prices high. So a lot of things are going on that is riding on the parents. The thing that touched my heart the most was when the family I saw on YouTube, the family had to make a decision. They were going to lose their house, and they had to make a decision who's going to go with them. And you know what they did? The 2 dogs they put in the shelter because they couldn't afford to feed them. And I felt it because I'm a dog lover. I got dogs, and I understand. 2 dogs, I try to give them 2 meals. It's like they want to come at me for treats. I'm the treat queen. And so when my kids giving them just their meal, they don't want it. They wait for me to come. Or they go outside and do their business just to come in and for me to give them treats. And I have to put it down to them, look. Treats is a luxury. That's what I thought. That's how I talk to my dogs. It's a luxury. It's not going to be coming that much anymore. Times are hard for everybody. So you take this bag of food and keep it rolling. They just look at me like I was crazy. Woo! Those are my little babies. Anyway, so yes, we have to be mindful. There's a lot of people that has things in here that's bothering them. Can you imagine if you've been working all your life and you just all of a sudden you've been laid off? What are you going to do with yourself? You're not ready to retire yet, and then they tell you they don't have any work for you because AIIIA has taken over. Look at Walmart. How many people you see checking you out? Walmart has changed. Target has changed. The grocery stores, they all change to make it more efficient for them. And who suffer? The people on the lower level. California is always at the forefront. I look at them, I respect them, I always look up to them because they always doing things that, when I think of California, I think of change agent. They go out and they try to make a change. They're doing repatriation. I'm just sitting back and watch. Just like I'm sitting back and waiting and watching. As a matter of fact, student loan called me. I didn't pick up the phone, but they wanted to, I'm thinking they said, oh, you're pardoned. President Biden pardoned you, Patrice. That's what I was thinking. All they were looking for, you know what they wanted? Make sure you update your phone number, your address is updated. Because guess what? August, I believe that we're going to start back paying student loan. And believe me, a lot of places say, I've been looking at certain jobs and they're going to have loan forgiveness. I even found, and I think I'm going to do a video on that, a nursing school that says, and it's in Pennsylvania, that's the only one so far that I know of. And only because I know it. I know someone who's going to nursing school, and when we research and she asked me to research, people come to me to ask me to research on stuff. And so I researched that particular school, and I'll do a video on that. Loan forgiveness. They have that program in that school, but you would have to work for them. So if they can do it, there might be other schools. I don't see any in Georgia so far. I think they give 7,000 loan forgiveness, and it's a community college. So the student loan is going to come up, and we haven't heard anything about that. As a matter of fact, we hear more about Ukraine and what's going on with Tucker, what's going on with President Biden's son. But we don't hear anyone addressing the student loan, the nurses. As a matter of fact, no one cared to address the nurses because we're lesser. We are, not. Another thing that I noticed is the floodgate is open at the border. At the border, when I saw that line, and I know they had to hire me one time to go to the border to help with, those kids that are coming in and they have a lot of disease. I shouldn't say disease. They have a lot of illness. A lot of things go on. They may have high blood pressure, diabetes, TB. They coming in with communicable disease. And I happened to look, a friend of mine called me and said, Patrice, look at the news. And I saw the border. The border was they were just coming. And who did that? I don't have to say who, because y'all know who opened that gate. That was closed before. I wonder, what do they want to destroy USA? Nobody like USA no more. Nobody, when you go to another country, they don't even want to respect you. And that is sad. And I don't want this to be a political video, but I have to talk about things that I've seen and things that I have noticed and how we react to. We wait until the last minute when people are, I'm pretty sure these people call out for help. The man that shoot up, the man that caused chaos, the man that walked into that building and hurt others, and he walked with his mother. He cried for help. His mother probably tried to cry for help. I'm hoping that she did. I'm hoping she reached out to someone. And from what I heard, he wanted Ativan, that little thing just for that. No, I don't believe that. I believe it's more to that. It's more. And the mother was trying her best probably to get help, but no one would listen. We don't listen until the last minute, until it blow up in our face, and then we want to backtrack. I can't leave this video without talking about giving the kids sugar. If you haven't heard, the wealthy, the billionaires, former president of the USA, wife, wants to, I think she team up with a company to produce sugary drinks. Orange juice has a lot of sugar in it. Apple juice, I thought I could just drink, because most of the time when I buy juice, my kids will tell you, I'll put a little bit in my cup, just a little flavor. But usually when I put a little bit, and I put a lot of water. So I don't really drink juice. It sits there and only the kids drink it. If I don't have tea, I drink a lot of tea, I drink water. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say the water is no good either. Yeah, but I drink it. I don't want no sugary drink. I don't want that. And I don't think, as a nurse, that the kids need sugary drinks. They become more hyper. They could, all sort of thing. I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you anymore. But I don't advocate to give kids sugar drink. You're not giving them apple juice. You're not giving them orange juice. You give them some water. And I know a lot of people don't like just water for lunch or for dinner. I would rather you give them freshly squeezed. Why didn't she say that? Freshly squeezed juice. It will be more beneficial, not artificial, to give it to them than to merged with a company. So it was all about money, as usual. But I'm just a little nurse. Chit chat in the backyard. Backyard chit chat. Doesn't make sense. No one gonna listen. Anyway, so that one was I felt the need as a nurse, as an advocate for kids with mental illness, as seeing that we don't give the kids sugary drink late at night or period, because they become more hyper and all sorts of things happen. And here it is, the former president, the popular president, the Martha's Vineyard queens and kings, and salute, they're gonna give sugary drinks to the average Joe, because that's who's gonna drink it. The average Joe. You hungry, you don't get anything at home, and you come to school for lunch, yes, and that's the only thing you're gonna have for the day. You're gonna drink it. And then when we start seeing all these other things, I've been tackling weight issues and decreasing all these things that y'all know I'm addicted to sweetness and sugary, and I'm not gonna drink it, because you never know, they might carry it home, or their parents might buy it. That's the only thing they know. It's probably gonna be cheap, so that's easy. It's gonna be in your neighborhood. You know what type of neighborhood that is. The food that no one else wants. I'm serious. If you like this channel, give me a thumbs up. I know this chit chat backyard, I want to continue it, our backyard chit chat. So here's what you do. If you want me to continue this, leave me a comment, engage. And don't just click on the likes. Don't just subscribe for today for 2 hours.